Tight, and the race for Illinois' 12th congressional district is wide open. Incumbent Mike Bost is facing off against Darren Bailey. While both candidates are pro-Trump and bona fide conservatives, our John Kipper found there are plenty of things to separate between the two men.
An experienced congressman who bills himself as a governing conservative, Mike Bost.
If you torch the place, we can't govern.
Versus a folksy fire out of a farmer who continually says the people are fed up, Darren Bailey.
Southern Illinois needs a fighter, not a compromiser.
Those are the two choices for Republicans in downstate Illinois later this month as Bost seeks his 6th term in office.
I think the voters still want governing.
And Bailey hopes to go from farming to Capitol Hill.
We are terribly represented here in the 12th Congressional District.
Congressman Bost certainly has credentials. He served 2 decades in Springfield before Congress, and he holds real power as chair of the Veteran Affairs Committee. Bost believes voters want results, not culture wars.
Now, the frustration that you feel is when you watch people that are more interested, as I said earlier, about getting likes on Facebook, being on a 24-hour news network, instead of worrying about what the future holds for our children and grandchildren.
Would you say Darren Bailey is that type of person?
I don't know. He hasn't been in government long enough to say.
But Darren Bailey says he hopes to drain the swamp and dubs Bost a swamp creature. Bailey was a legislator in Springfield for 4 years and lost the race for governor 2 years ago to J.B. Pritzker. He even sued Pritzker for COVID-19 policies. According to Bailey, conservative voters want a champion in Congress, something he does not consider Bost.
Many of the people here in the 12th Congressional District don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Our congressman has one thing that he says he's passionate about, and that's veterans. Yet, veterans are in trouble. Veterans are homeless.
For Bailey, the #1 problem leaders must tackle, securing the southern border after a record number of crossings last December. He says almost every domestic issue, from crime to the economy, can be blamed on illegal crossings from Mexico. But he tells First Alert 4 Congress does not need to take action, as President Trump already allotted billions of dollars for a border wall.
We don't need anything else other than to build the wall. Joe Biden has everything he needs to close the border.
Bost says it would go a long way to secure the border if President Biden or Congress reverts to the Trump-era policy of keeping U.S. asylum seekers in Mexico until their immigration court date. He also would like to see more miles of the wall built.
Would I love to set it in law by Congress? Sure. But under his existing powers, he could do the things that are required.
The two men both agree on at least one thing. Donald Trump should be the next president. And Bost got a boost with Trump supporters last month after Trump endorsed him. Bost says while he doesn't agree with everything the former president and current GOP frontrunner says, he'll always defend Trump's accomplishments.
I don't answer for the president's tweets. I don't answer for the president's comments. I answer for the president's policies. The policies is what I'm supporting of.
Bailey blamed the swamp for Trump picking Bost.
I was disappointed, but at the end of the day, nothing changes. We're ahead in polling. We're going to win. We've got the grassroots movement.
Illinois voters will go to the polls next Tuesday. John Kipper, First Alert 4.
One key area of disagreement is whether the U.S. should continue to give Ukraine funding to fight Russia. Bailey says the money the U.S. has sent has not worked, and enough is enough. While Bost says the U.S. needs to stop Putin and keep funding Ukraine, but says there needs to be conditions on exactly how that money is being spent. A reminder for